A few years ago, I went to see a movie with my friend Ree, a midnight showing of one of those paranormal activity movies. The theater was fuller than I thought it would be, but not super packed. We decided we wanted to have a quick hoot before the movie started, to make the movie a little more intense. As we were walking to a more secluded spot, I noticed this woman, seemingly watching us from a distance. She had long, scraggly hair. You could barely see her face. She was wearing a black dress that covered her feet with a long brown jacket. She just stood there staring. I told Ree to look, and she just made a joke about how ugly she looked, and we kind of forgot about her once we sat back down at our movie seats. In the middle of the movie, I heard the doors open, and there was that woman. We started calling her the witch lady. She just walked slowly up a few aisles and sat down quietly by herself. I was actually slightly freaked out. She gave off a really freaky vibe. Throughout the rest of the movie, I kept looking down at her as we were at the very back. And every once in a while, she would look back, almost as if she were looking right at us. Even Ree started getting freaked out, and she is not the type to scare easy. After the constant staring contest, we didn't even pay attention to like half of the movie, and our buzz was gone once the movie was over. As we stood up and grabbed our jackets, the witch lady was gone. I thought it was weird, but I was also relieved we wouldn't have to walk past her. We went outside and had another hoot while waiting for our buses. It was about 1 a.m. and I said bye to Ree, got on my bus to go home. I didn't really pay attention to anyone as there wasn't that many people. I sat down and put my earbuds in and sat back as comfortable as I could on the public transit. In the reflection of the bus windows, I swear I saw her, the witch lady, for a split second, but I'm sure it was my imagination. I got to my stop and I still had a 20-minute walk before getting to my house. It was chilly. I remember there was still snow on the ground, which means I could hear that crunch sound that the snow made when someone was walking on it. And I heard that sound right behind me. I looked and I swear that witch lady was right behind me. I was in a state of panic, but I didn't want to show it. I walked as fast as I could without being too obvious, and I kept looking behind me. At this point, I didn't even believe this was a real human woman. I kept telling myself how crazy I was and that it was only a coincidence, but I couldn't believe myself. I knew something messed up was going on. I just wanted to get home so badly. That witch lady was right behind me, no matter what I did or how fast I walked. I finally got to my street, and I was so close to my house now. I looked behind me, and she wasn't there. Maybe it was a coincidence. I still was freaked out and got into the house as soon as I could and locked all the doors. After about 20 minutes, I looked out the main picture window, and that lady was there. She was standing in front of my house, just staring. I stared back, which felt like a really long time. And then all of a sudden, she just started slowly walking away with her dress flowing behind her. I literally thought maybe the weed was laced or something, because no way was this real. It took a while to settle my emotions, and I decided to have a shower and just go to bed. I had the TV on while I was half watching it and half sleeping. And then bang, something slammed against my window. Bang, something slammed again and again. I couldn't believe my eyes when she was standing there outside my bedroom window, slamming on it with her hands. This time I could see her face, and it was like a nightmare. Her eyes looked like demon eyes. The look on her face was so angry. She kept yelling, "I am in your soul now. I am in your soul now." And I just screamed as this was happening. She was running around and around the outside of my house, banging on all the windows, yelling this mantra of hers, and so I obviously called the cops. I hid in my bedroom, which locked, and then the bathroom inside the bedroom, which locked, while I waited for the police. I could hear a window smash, and I was bawling quietly in the bathroom. Then I heard her. She was running around through the inside of my house. She was breaking everything in her path and screaming obscenities. She banged on my bedroom door, and I was certain she was going to break it down, until luckily I heard another woman tell her to get on the ground. I heard nothing but screams for a few minutes and what sounded like some struggling, and then the screaming started to sound further and further away until I didn't hear them anymore. And all I heard was a police officer telling me it's okay to come out. I was shaking and in shock. They told me she was probably schizophrenic, and that's all I ever really heard about her. I don't know what happened to her. I don't know why she targeted me. I don't know how she just appeared and followed me home. A part of me thinks maybe this was something paranormal, but I keep telling myself she was just unwell and that it was all a coincidence. I sleep better that way.